As the sun rises and the weather gets a little bit hotter, the Upville Squad takes you outside and up close and personal with your favorite personalities, celebrities and musicians. Joining me on the Upville exclusive and today's spotlight, we get to have a chit chat with the one and only amazing General Ozzy. General, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I am doing amazing. And I must say to the people at home, I know you can't smell it, and I pray that Mark Zuckerberg, whoever, is able to create televisions like this, but he smells expensive. Like not even just nice. Not even just nice. You just smell very, very like I was saying, that doesn't begin to explain it. But all in all, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I know you're doing great because music, your music particularly, is amazing.
Thank you.
I would like to say you're by far part of the top 5 who've stayed relevant, at the same time being very original to yourself and keeping true to your sound and not phasing out and say, but why is he still making music? He's still making the same sound. You've managed to shift in such a way that's amazing. I mean, the career itself and how, when we look at the projects that have been put out, the albums, the collaborations, it's mind-boggling to stay relevant for such a long time. And I'm saying such a long time because I feel like just 4 or 5 years in the music business and still being a name that people want to listen to is quite an achievement. I want to ask, over the years, what have been the 3 things that you could say could describe your time in this business as?
Well, I don't know whether 3 is even enough, but I'll tell you what, I think just remaining grounded and disciplined and focused on what you want to achieve, where you want to be, what you see, I think is what has been my driving force as well, because music is something that I do because I'm really passionate about it. It's a passion of mine. So I'm like so in love with music that even when times are hard, even when it takes me on the lowest of the low, I know that obviously I'll definitely have to go up, because if you, I actually love, what I mean, when you're down there, because the only way is up.
The only way is
know what I mean? So for me, it's those are some of my driving forces, and because I want to do better every time when I get into the studio, and I'm somebody who loves to see other people do what I do as well, and when they're as passionate about it as I am, I admire that, and I'll usually reach out and say, what, great work, because I know I've been there. So I love to appreciate other people that are doing what I've equally been through and still doing.
That's so beautiful. I mean, right now, I could say 2021, 2022 has been 2 prominent years for music in Zambia. We've seen the uprising of the new wave, and these are people who are taking on music in a different way. We've seen the relevance of streaming, and also the idea that it's not just music. You're a brand, you have to put out great music. The music videos as well have to be amazing. But I mean, with all of these achievements in the industry, what would you say is one thing or something that you still are disappointed that even today artists are still somewhat not getting it right? Like, what's the one thing in the industry that you feel like, okay, maybe back then would have been okay, but now in 2022 this shouldn't be a topic or a conversation?
The whole issue of just being organizers and artists, sometimes fame comes when you did not even prep for it. So our industries where there's no schools, where they'll go and teach you about this and that. So the only school you have are the people that have been there before, those that have experienced music way before you started. And for me, that is why I've always looked up to other icons that have been there before me, the likes of MC Obuno, Nasty D, because growing up, those are the people I was listening to. And I'll always want to find out, my big brother, Moses Sakala from the Sakala brothers, I always confide in them to try and find, because they've traveled, Auntie Maureen Lilanda, those are the people that we have, and we need to try and learn from them, how they manage to get gigs abroad, how to manage a career every other single day, because sometimes fame will just come like that and you don't know how to handle it. You know, there's so many things that happen, and because we're human, people expect you to act in a certain way, you know, the way they perceive you, and because you're still learning, and sometimes they say you learn through mistakes. So it's a bit of, you know, it takes you around, you know, but for me, my biggest advice to any artist out there, upcoming or established, it's always good to take time to try and speak to some of these people that we still have today, and try and learn. You might just learn something, and that will make you a better artist, you know. And tomorrow somebody will walk up to you, and you will welcome them as well. You know what I mean? When somebody walks up to you, you will welcome them, because somebody did let you in as well when you wanted to know something regarding the industry. So for me, that is what keeps me. I respect my elders in the music industry, and I always will do.
You're giving them their flowers.
I give them as they say. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's speak about your music.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that behind camera you said you don't want to touch on, but I still want to bring it up. There's a post that you put out on your personal Facebook, David Banda.
Yes.
And it was quite a shocking revelation, and I must say for that entire week I was really puzzled at what exactly occurred. So to anybody who might be hearing this for the first time, music that was put out by you, Alice Chuma, and so many others when you guys were under
Sling Beats,
was put out on Amazon for purchase. And I think this was 2020, because Amazon said it was up 2020 and these albums and songs were put out. But funny thing is, you went behind, you know, putting those songs up yourself. It was from a particular source. How's that situation like now? Because I know you said your team will be taking legal action, but I want to know how's the situation like right now?
Well, I mean, I'm not the only one that had worked at Sling Beats or worked with Sling Beats. We put out a lot of music, and the music went under the name Ozzy, okay, and so many other artists that were part of Sling Beats. And most of us, I think each one of us had their own different type of contracts. So I don't know, but it was shocking to me that there was music that was actually selling out there on streaming platforms under a different name, you know. And I mean, we live in Zambia. Us artists get bashed a lot of times when somebody who's probably in the diaspora and they're trying to get your music and they can't access it, and because they've gone to these platforms and they can't find it. So I was like, oh, why should this music be uploaded in such a manner and without consent, without informing the artist, you know? So it's a shocker to me. It was a shocker to me, and it still is, because it's never happened in the world. I've never seen it before anywhere. So that was like a real shocker to me, and I did not tag anybody. I just put it out there for people to see, because just in case somebody thought maybe I was having a personal vendetta against them, but it wasn't that, you know. I mean, it's just putting out facts, and it's wrong to do that, because we know the contracts that we have behind this music being put out there, and it's always not good when you know, start bringing in some politics into music, because it's put out there for people to enjoy and not vice versa, you know. So yeah, that's just a brief background on that particular issue.
Are we still pursuing the story?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, that is music that I put out and I need to benefit from. So if I'm not getting anything out of it, then there's something wrong.
From the technical end, masters and rights and intellectual property, did you own those rights to the music?
Well, I own part of the rights of the music.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Half.
But you still,
of whatever
you're
it is,
getting proceeds from the
no,
selling?
No, nothing. I haven't received a penny. Not even a 15 gway.
Right. on a lighter note, I know this was a touchy subject, but let's move on.
Yeah, you know, let's move on to the...
today was Bittersweet for me, because like I said, I love your sound, I love you.
Thank you.
And an even bigger fan for me, being a Gen Z, a millennial, Dave. Like I just, anything Dave touches in my mind turns to gold. I know XYZ put out his album, you know, GFM, Good Family Music, and it's doing amazing. It's over 1 million streams on Boomplay, and then you've given us something with him. Why was now the right time to put it out?
Well, we recorded the song in 2020, like a few weeks before he actually passed on. So it was a time when we were planning to actually shoot the video for the song. And, well, tragedy struck. And, I mean, like I said, Dave is somebody that was really passionate about music. And we had actually worked on a song on my previous album, Voice of Zambia, called Pick Up the Phone, before working on this one. So, I mean, it was just like magical to actually work on this particular project. You know what I mean? It was something that we did not plan we were going to do, but we actually did. You know what I mean? But fast forward, 2022, we decided to actually, beginning of this year, we decided we're going to release the record. And coincidentally, I think XYZ were also planning to release his project. And I think there must be just a vibe going on around about Dave right now. So we creating the video as well was a back and forth process, because the guys who made the video don't live in Osaka, they live on the Copper Belt. So there was, you know, WhatsApp calls, video calls, you know, a lot of back and forth, images, how does this look, how does that look, and, you know, coming up with a script. But bittersweet, like you said, you know, but, you know, the music had to come out because I know he would be happy, you know what I mean, for people to enjoy it right now. I mean, as much as we are grieving inside, but this is music that we did when we were happy, you know, and we want to give it to people in that manner.
That's so beautiful. I must say, very creative, the concept of actually making an animation. And shout out to whoever was animating that girl, because I don't know if it was your influence on the animation itself, because the lady was blessed. Let's just say the lady. And you guys will get to see it. You guys will get to see it. The sound itself is fresh. It's amazing.
Thank you.
But it's 2 years old.
2 years old, produced by Easy the producer.
How do you do that? Like, and like I said, even in the beginning, how much do we ask the fans don't get to hear? Because if you are able to sit on a project for 2 years and just let it be, how much don't we hear? And then when creating music, for you, how do you achieve that timeless sound where it's authentically General Ozzy? Because I'm not thinking, oh, this sounds like Afrobeat or comparing to this. I'm just, this is a great song and it's timeless music.
Well, I'll tell you what, as much as everybody will have their opinion on whether it's Afro, whether it's Zambian or whatever, I believe we are a global village. And that's why today you have somebody sample Spanish sound, you know what I mean? That sound that comes from South America, and people will sample Afro or whatever. We're a global village, so for sound, whatever will get you going, you know, will get the body going. And this is how it is. Putting timeless music out, I think it's about just trying to get the right message and connecting with people on a certain level, because it's about touching a topic that will resonate with somebody, you know. So it doesn't matter which time you get to play it or you get to release it. If it's something that will touch somebody's mind today, best believe 10 years from now, 50 years from now, somebody will appreciate it still.
That's amazing. Well, the song is out on YouTube, and you guys will get to hear it as well. We're going to play it after this. But before we let you go, I've got a little bit of pop culture quiz for you. So it's a yes, no. There's no defending yourself. You just agree with the sentence or you don't. So first up, your Mops is Zambia's biggest artist. Yes or no? There's no thinking.
He's biggest
Yes.
Zambian artist. Is that a fact?
Yes or no? Just for you personally, like, is that are those your sentiments as well? Yes or no?
No.
No. Cleo Ice Cream is Zambia's best female rapper.
Yes.
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 Okay. Sampa the Great is Zambia's best international product.
Definitely. Yes.
Yes. Natasha Chansa will take up Zambia music in the next 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, are you happy with the nominations by the Zambia Kwacha Music Awards?
Sorry?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
we
or
still
no?
on the trivia?
Yes or no? Just,
Am I happy with the...
do you agree?
Since I'm not there, no.
Alright, okay. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I think the violence is enough. The violence is enough. But it's been such an amazing time having you on. Like
Thank
I
you.
said,
Thank you. Same, man.
to my colleague, I'm like, he's so bubbly. I didn't expect him to. But I'm glad that you've cleared up so much. And the song is out on YouTube.
It's out on YouTube. Y'all guys can go and stream it. It's on Vesasani as well. Boomplay. You know, all these other platforms, you guys know them better than I do. You know what I mean? Go get it. If you want to get social with me, on social media, of course, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter.
DM
it's
me for his
all
number, his WhatsApp, or whatever. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, General Ozzy.
Thank you.
And that wraps up the Upville exclusive with me, Kasunde Wellington. Remember, these are up on our YouTube channel as Diamond TV Zambia, so you're able to catch this on the go wherever you are. It also wraps up the show today. It's a beautiful Friday, and that's why we're listening to beautiful music. To close us off, here is General Ozzy and the one and only Dave. I hope you enjoyed this one. Goodbye.